Welcome to Radicards TV on Radicards.com. I'm your host, Patrick Greeno, and today on this segment of questions, I have with me Ryan Cracknell, hobby editor of Beckett Media. Hey, Ryan, how you doing?
Good.
Awesome. If you're unfamiliar with the segment, it's 3 questions, 5 minutes each, and we talk about them with about 3 to 5 minutes of standard deviation for just miscellaneous dialogue. So let's get right into it here, Ryan. Question number 1. Why is it such a common blunder, even with many hobby veterans, to claim that Mickey Mantle's rookie card came from 1952 Topps?
Oh, amen. Amen. I'll just say that. It's one of those, when you hear a story so many times, it becomes true sorts of things. I think that is the root of it. There's a few things going on there. Number one, there is never going to be a mass consensus on what a rookie card is. I work for Beckett. Beckett has their definitions. Other people have their own definitions. Today we have for baseball, we have Bowman, which they're inserts. So by traditional definitions, they're not rookie cards, yet how they're treated is very much like the rookie card. And we can go all the way back. I remember in the 90s, you would have the Bowman, no questions asked, those were rookie cards. But then since Upper Deck, Fleer, Donruss couldn't use them, they would put rookie on the card. And if you went to a card show, there'd be dealers calling them rookies and everything else, and just chaos. Rookie cards have always been that way. But with the Mickey Mantle, the 52 Topps is his most important card. Traditionally, we equate a rookie card with being the most important. So therefore, because the 52 is such a landmark card, well, it's got to be his rookie card. And, people know Topps. If I went up to my mom and I said the name Topps, she would know what I was talking about. She'd be like, those are cards. If I said Bowman, she'd just kind of look at me funny and not really know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, it's one of those things that's just been repeated over and over and over again, mixing the complexities of what a rookie card is. That subject is actually, it's close to my heart. But I think part of that is one day maybe I can dream that I could own a Mickey Mantle rookie card versus the 52 Topps. There's no chance anymore. Even the 51, even the rookie card, it's still like a pipe dream. But, if I budget correctly, it's possible.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I've known a lot of just well-to-do, long-term hobby people, 30, 40 years in. And I've seen them on camera say, yeah, 52 Topps is my favorite set. It's got the Mantle rookie. It's not hard to identify the true rookie of Mickey Mantle, because if you go back 1 year and you see the Bowman card, you see the RC next to it. I mean, and the 51 Bowman isn't a rare set. It's available. When you type in 1951 Bowman Mickey Mantle, that's going to come up, every day, all day long, 24/7 into perpetuity. It's same with all the other cards in the 51 Bowman set. It's not obscure. It's not like in today's market, trying to identify a player's rookie card is difficult to do, but you go back to the 52 Topps set, it does not say RC next to his name. It says DP, double print. And so I often find it interesting when people have been in the hobby for so long, maybe as long as when the 52 Topps set came out, and they still claim that maybe the Mickey Mantle is in fact the rookie card. And so I understand that it's his most important card of the 2 cards. It's maybe the most iconic post-war card of all time. I get that, but that still doesn't, in my opinion, make it a rookie card. It makes it the most important post-war card and the most recognized baseball card, if you will. But I truly don't think that is enough justification to make it a rookie card, because it is still a second-year card.
Absolutely. I will not debate you on the topic whatsoever. It's not, 52 is not a rookie card, and if you mention it to me, or if I see it posted somewhere online, an eye roll automatically happens. Like visible. I just it's not a snobby thing. It's not his rookie card. It can be a great card, and it is. It's a classic, but it's not a rookie card.
Truly. I mean, if you want to move this to another level, this conversation, in today's market, how do we define a rookie card? Do we define a rookie card as the card that comes out in the player's first year playing in the major leagues and he's depicted on a card where it's licensed by both MLB and MLBPA? Or is it the first appearance of a player on a card licensed by the MLB and MLBPA? Perfect example. Jason Hayward appeared in 2006 Topps Aflac. In 2006, he didn't reach the major until 2010. So in fact, he had 4 years prior where he was in product. So it's like, what is his true rookie card? See, to me, it's the Aflac card, where some people might argue it's the 2010 whatever, Bowman or Topps or whatever else. Same with, you might argue that with Mike Trout, 2009 Bowman draft, but his first year in the majors was 2011, so those qualify as his rookie cards. Now, I have a different way of defining these different topics. I think that the pro athlete year eras are prospect cards. Yes. And the cards that came out during his first year in the majors are his rookie year cards, but all of those together are rookie era cards. That's kind of how I've been able to digest all of this.
I'm a guy of definitions. I have in my head kind of my own. Like there is the professional side of me that I have to go with. As a Beckett employee, there are rookie cards that I look up, and for me the big thing is it starts at the base set. So for you with the Aflac, I would go no, because that's an insert. So therefore, insert automatically for me, not a rookie card. But that doesn't mean, if you go back to the Mantle, just because it doesn't have an RC tag next to it, or if you're flipping through a magazine or looking at a database, just because it doesn't have that tag doesn't make it shouldn't say this card's less important. If I had the money, I'd be going after the 2009 Mike Trouts. However, the 2011s very much, by definition, where I kind of narrow things, because I like to keep things organized. If I don't have those definitions, chaos happens. My head doesn't like that. The collector side of me gets confused. It's already confused enough. But there's no... I wish it were simpler.
Good stuff, man. This was a good conversation. I'm glad we got to touch on it a little bit. Question 2. In what ways did the 1996 Leaf signature set influence the collectability and desirability of pack-issued autographed baseball cards?
I think it was, number one, it's one of my favorite sets. I love that set. When I'm going back to the 90s and I want to get an autograph of a player, that's where I start. Being a Mariners fan, when I decided it was time to get an A-Rod autograph, went to 90. Nothing in Texas, nothing in Yankees, so I went back to 96. Same with Randy Johnson. Mm-hmm. I needed Mariners uniform, went back to that set. In that regard, there are some big names in that set. And it set a high benchmark. I don't think we're going to see anything like that again to that extent with that depth. That said, I also think that depth is a bit of a curse. It's good to have autographs of borderline players, but that was an expensive set back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I bought one pack of each series, and the extended one, I was okay with it because I got like that bonus hot pack where you got 2 or 3 autographs or whatever it was.
Nice.
If it were released today with the same price, which it couldn't be because we see, I think it was up here, it was $15 a pack, Canadian. So I don't know if it was 10 in the States or what, but
$9.90. As I recall, it's $9.99 or $9.95 was the SRP back in '96. I never bought a pack. A friend of mine bought one pack and got a Tom Candiotti autograph, and I thought that was pretty rad. I mean, even though it was just, a player neither of us collected, but the fact that you're guaranteed an autograph in those packs, and they're on-card autographs, and they're...
But we didn't know what stickers were. Stickers were still, what, 6...
they were years off.
Back to 96, I do think it is a classic set that history will remember. whether that's because of the quality or just there's still a lot of it out there.
Yeah.
Like I've even sat down, browsing through ComC or, wherever. I'm like, should I just tackle this set
Right.
and build like, because you can find, if they're on sale or whatever, like 50 cents a pop. And, I personally, I wish they didn't do the parallels. Like that was a needless.
The bronze, silver, gold, those?
Yeah. Because the one side of me is like, who cares? Just get an autograph of each guy. Because especially for me, autographs are all about the autograph.
Right.
It doesn't. The number on the back doesn't matter too much for me. How I chase things. I'm not after multiple signatures of the same guy under normal circumstances.
So the way I see it is that, well, first of all, I'm with you. 96 Leaf Signature Series is one of my favorite sets too, and I also have thought about tackling at least the bronze stamped versions. When you're guaranteed a signatured card in a pack, does that diminish the integrity or the quality of expectation when you go and buy a pack? See, because the reason why I mention this or bring this up, I want to make this clear is that the excitement associated with the, I don't want to say non-guarantee of something, the odds, the unbelievable odds that existed in the 90s for stuff, and then when you finally did pull something, it was huge. It was always huge. So, for example, any of those really early game used cards from the late 90s, they had like 1 in 3,000 packs kind of insertion ratios. When you finally do hit it, it's a huge celebration. Whereas when you're guaranteed a pack issued autograph, and to its point, you get the chance of pulling autographs of guys that you may or may not collect, which may or may not be exciting depending on what you collect. But does it take away from some of the excitement when you have a guarantee? This is something I think about often, is when you're guaranteed to win, what makes you try or put in any effort to play?
To that end, I agree with you there. And that's what we see a lot in the modern stuff now. Like we have 2, 3, 4 autographs in a pack, but the chase is still there, the excitement, everything else. It's just all based on who you get. Like you said, the chase. But with Signature Series, with the newer stuff, it's still there, but it's all in the player that you get. So it kind of raised the expectations on things. But there is that mentality of the chase now. It's, we're going after the one of one. We're going after the Griffies, for you, the Thomas. Whereas in the 90s, we were just chasing an autograph. It didn't matter who it was. It just so happened that those checklists weren't generally watered down. It was the big players and the big players only.
Yep.
But then as we demanded more autographs, well, okay, the card companies have to get creative. How do we do that? Because Reggie Jackson isn't going to sign 10 million baseball cards. Right. Nolan Ryan's arm will fall. He's got to push for a couple more years. You just can't do. So you got to spread it around. And that happened in every corner of the hobby. I love the non-sport stuff. And back in the late 90s, if you got an autograph, it was freaking awesome. Like not only the chase, but the quality of the star was much higher.
Those are interesting points. I mean, truly they are. I think that you touched on a really good piece to think about here, and I sometimes forget, is that the expectations of collecting expanded at a time when the manufacturers now needed to meet those demands without putting extra stress on the players who are already signing, which were the top tier players at the time. And so they had to diversify their catalog of players that would sign cards, which is why we saw more watered down autograph sets coming out late as the years progressed, especially in the 2000s. I'm glad we got to cover that. Question number 3. Why aren't stolen bases highlighted to the same degree as other common field occurrences such as RBI or home runs?
Because unless your name is Ricky Henderson or to a lesser extent Tim Raines, nobody really cares.
You could put Rod K. Rue in that probably, or Lou Brock even, or Maury Wills. Those are guys.
Those guys were before my time. I wasn't watching baseball when those guys came out, so my introductory baseball cards taught me all I know about those guys. And I guess I could look it up on YouTube now a little bit more and do some reading. The home run, I think, for me personally, is like one of the most exciting plays in all of baseball that isn't like this ultra rare occurrence. It's explosive. It's powerful. It it scores runs right away. There's drama, but there's no drama. When the home run is hit, it's all celebration from that point on. It also takes all of the focus. The home run, that's what everybody's watching. When someone's stealing a base, the game's still happening. From a complexity of the game, the purist side, the stolen base, is much more beautiful because it's part of strategy. Uh, Mashing a ball, yeah, it can be part of strategy, but part of that, even for the best guys, is luck. The ball has to be in the right place at the right time. I don't know. I love the home run. I think it's great, even from the steroid era.
This is an interesting conversation because, as you were saying, stolen bases are more strategic. I've always felt that way, is that you have to kind of gauge what's happening. I mean, to me, one of the most groundbreaking things that anybody can do on a field, one of them, not the paramount, is stealing home base. That to me is amazing because
Uh-huh.
people are already looking at home base, and you're stealing home
Yes.
base. To me, that's incredible. But the notoriety that stolen bases get in comparison to its home run counterpart is less significant both in the hobby and in some might argue coverage. But
Mhm.
guys are stealing bases all the time. Will Myers has been stealing bases. Mike Trout steals bases. Um, you know, a lot of people. Jose Canseco stole a lot of bases in his day. First 40-40 man. So it's. I think to me, it's although it's less celebrated. In some ways, to me, it's somewhat more significant because you're so much more risk involved in stealing a base, especially when we're talking about advanced bases, second and third and home.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that comes into play as to me um, somewhat paramount to the significance of the strategy, the overall strategy of gameplay. But it doesn't get the same marquee value as, I mean, sad to say, home runs or grand slams are pretty amazing things too.
But with the home run, we're setting records. Whether it's career mark, single season, it's been a few years, but there are these significant milestones, and I guess that's part of the argument is we're not celebrating milestones with stolen bases. Here's a thought: is it Ricky Henderson's fault that we don't celebrate stolen bases because he was stealing 100 a season? Whatever those godly numbers were in the 80s that were so impressive, no one's come close to that on at least on a consistent basis. Billy Hamilton, he's stolen a few bases, but maybe Ricky Henderson was so good at it that everyone else after him pales in comparison. Plus, he hit the home runs to go with it, and he was Ricky Henderson.
Well, you might say that we've gotten more cautious in the way we strategically implement tactics, right?
Yeah.
And on the field. So to minimize risk and to maximize output or the potential for output, stealing bases might not be encouraged as much as they say were in the 1980s. So we might see less of them as directed by the manager of the team at the time or the coach. If you get on base, that's maybe more important than stealing another base because it's a guarantee. If you're sacrificing or rounding about, then you're slowly getting toward home as almost a guarantee. Whereas if you're stealing, the risk of getting thrown out is higher. So the statistical probability, it weighs against you in that capacity. And when that happens, you risk getting thrown out. And when you get thrown out, you risk losing the possibility of a run. And when that happens, you risk losing a game. So I understand the hierarchy that exists and why maybe stolen bases aren't as celebrated or encouraged in the game of baseball, presently speaking, when compared to the 1980s version of strategy that existed during Ricky Henderson's professional tenure. So this is an interesting point. I was thinking about this recently. I don't see a lot of insert sets that celebrate the stolen base. You see a lot of like hurlers and sluggers and like 500 home run club type insert sets all the time. And what comes to mind is the 1991 Upper Deck uh, Ricky Henderson card where he's holding the base with
Yeah.
Lou Brock, isn't it? And
Yeah.
and that's the one card that comes to mind about base stealing.
they're just kind of one-off cards, as opposed to, like you were saying, every year we have those home run club, memorable home runs. But yeah, nothing with the maybe we should.
Good stuff, man. I'm glad we got to talk about that. All right. Thank you for watching another episode of Radicards TV on Radicards.com. Thank you, Ryan Cracknell, for joining us. And until next time, enjoy collecting. If you like this video, please subscribe. Enjoy collecting. Thank you.